Eating excessive amounts of meats causes weak bones and kidney stones. You got to be careful. Here's why. Your body does not store protein. You can't store the protein that you eat right now to be used later. The body, when you consume that protein, uses what it needs right then. The rest of it eventually turns into acid. Now the body has to neutralize that acid. The body uses the phosphate from your bone to neutralize that acid. So the more meat you eat, the more protein you get, the more neutralization has to take place. The phosphate has to leach from your bones.
So there are mechanisms by which a higher dietary acid load can increase the breakdown and excretion of calcium as a buffer. And this is why it was proposed that dietary protein can actually decrease bone mass. With that being said, there are a myriad of studies demonstrating that higher protein intakes increase bone mineral density. They also increase calcium absorption, meaning that we actually replace the lost calcium. You see, the amino acids found in protein increase a substantial number of different proteins, molecules, and hormones that are responsible for inhibiting the breakdown of bone and increasing the formation of bone. And I want to just highlight this beautiful study that was done in a group of people in which they gave a calcium and vitamin D supplement. And they found that those with the lowest protein intake saw either no improvement or a slight decrease in bone mineral density. But in the high protein intake group, there was a favorable change in bone mineral density. And the increased bone mineral density correlated very significantly with the protein intake. One of the other reasons is that, unbeknownst to many people, protein actually makes up approximately 40% of our bones. In essence, the beneficial effects of protein outweigh any potential increased acid load. And to the other point that he makes, that protein is harmful to the kidneys. There's only evidence for protein being harmful to the kidneys if you have pre-existing kidney disease. And while increasing protein intake can increase markers of kidney activity on our blood work, we don't see that it actually has any negative effects on the kidney's filtration rate. And I'm not saying you have to get it from meat, but meat is going to be the most powerful and potent source of these amino acids that stimulate bone formation. It also may make up for some of the calcium and phosphorus that you could potentially use to buffer some acid. Therefore, any phosphate that you could lose will absolutely be made up in the phosphate found in the protein. But if you don't like eating animal products, you can get the same amino acids from properly combining different plant sources. And the research demonstrates that given that the amino acids are the same, it doesn't matter if it comes from plant or animal sources, given that the volume of protein is sufficient. And if you want to learn how to take control of your health and energy, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.